Welcome back, guys. It's Ricky with Addicted to Fishing Team Arrow. In today's video, we're going to go over some planer board and pitching techniques, some of the gear we use to do this, as well as how to rig it up. Hope you enjoy it. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Again, we really appreciate your support here. Let's get into it. This is a handy tool to keep your leaders organized. It sticks anywhere with the suction cups on your boat. It's real easy to use. The only thing that I added to it was the spools, and I put hair ties on it to keep them from blowing around in the wind. Real handy tool, not very expensive, good to easily dispense leaders, which we're always doing it, whether it's down lines, planer boards, free lines. You name it, you need a leader for it, basically. This is my pitching rod of choice. It's a Penn Battle 2 combo. The rod is 7 foot. It's got a fast action on it, plenty of backbone. The reel has a pretty smooth drag on it. I've caught a lot of fish on this rod and reel combo. You'll see it used in a lot of my previous videos. I've been very happy with this setup. Now for my planer board reel, I like the Dakota 500 LC. It's got a smooth drag along with the level wind and the line counter. It's very helpful. Give you an idea of where you're at. I like to pair that with the Ugly Stik Striper, medium heavy, great rod, and pretty inexpensive. As far as planer boards go, there's a bunch of different brands. Some of them have some different features. You'll see weights on the bottom, which will keep them upright, which is a nice feature to have. If you get slacklined, it won't lay over. You've got different styles of clips. This is the Churchill clip. It actually locks on. You control umbrella rigs with this planer board if you wanted to. A little bit different. It's got a reversible clip. The other boards just have like a Scotty clip, which is a pretty easy, almost like a clothespin. You just squeeze it, slide your line in, you're good to go. Some of the swivels may be different. I like the pigtail swivel. Some of them have snap swivels. This is a different clip here. Pretty much operation is the same. Just want to squeeze it to release the line. These are side specific, so don't put it on the wrong side. If you do, you'll know quickly. Again, these are pigtail swivels. Then these are the Ready Rig floats. Really like these guys. They'll keep your bait spread out just a little bit, but not real far like the actual planer board does. All right, let's set up your pitching rod. We're going to start by making a loop in your leader. Then you're going to use an Alberto knot, which is a pretty simple knot, although it is very difficult to tie on camera. You're just going to stick it through that loop, loop it around 3 times going down, and then 3 times coming back up. The most important part about this knot is to make sure that you go back the same way you came out. I do that by keeping my finger going down so I know that when I come back, I'm coming back down on it. And the second most important thing is to moisten your knot, as in with all knots. This will work on braid. It'll work mono to mono. It'll work mono to fluorocarbon. I use a 3-foot fluorocarbon leader, and you can see this knot cinches down pretty small. And you'll trim off these tag ends. I use this instead of a swivel because it goes through my eyes when I'm pitching herring or trout or whatever I'm pitching to these fish. Without getting caught up in my eyes, it's a real pain to try to jiggle a swivel back out. So I really like it. I'm sure there's some better tutorials on YouTube for the Alberto knot, but it is a very small and very strong knot. It has not let me down as long as you go back in the way you came out. So you want to make sure you keep that direction the same. Once you have that tied, then you will just tie your hook to the other end. For that, I use a Palomar knot. There are only 3 knots I use on the boat, and that would be an Alberto, a Palomar, and a uni knot. Those are my 3 favorite knots. If you have one that works for you, feel free to use it. Okay, for your planer board rod, you're going to need a glass bead or a plastic bead, a barrel swivel, and a hook sized to your bait. Alright, to tie up your planer board rod, you're going to need your main line, which will consist of whatever you choose. I run 17-pound big game. Then I will pull off a 10-pound leader or 12, depending on what size bait I'm using, off of my leader dispenser. I like to make that about 5 to 7 feet long. This will be connected with a series of Palomar knots. Again, you can use whatever knot you like. That just happens to be my favorite knot. First thing you'll do with the Palomar connection, it does have to be tied in an order. You'll have to tie your swivel to your leader. And remember to moisten your knots. That will help prevent friction burns. Once you get that tied up, you will have to tie your leader to your swivel. Now you can go ahead and tie the hook to the leader, but then you'll have to pull a hook through the loop on the Palomar. That's entirely up to you. Now with that being said, if you do break off below your swivel, in the event you get hung up in a tree or a fish breaks you off, you can tie that back on with a uni knot. Now here we're going to slip the glass bead onto our main line and tie that to our swivel. And what this glass bead does is prevent the planer board from going down to your hook and knocking your fish off, or having to fight one extra thing very close to the fish, causing you to lose a fish. Alright guys, I'm going to speed this knot tying up. It's a basic Palomar knot. If you have another knot that you're comfortable and confident with, feel free to use it. This is just what I use. Before we get to rigging the actual planer board in the next scene here, I want to take a second to say thanks for watching my videos. I appreciate all your support. Thanks for smashing those like buttons. We're considering giving away something, I'm not sure what, at a subscription milestone. Wanted to see what you guys wanted. So put that in the comments. Let us know what you want to have a contest for. We may do a drawing, just a random drawing of, all of our subscribers, something of that nature. Just want to give back a little bit. We really appreciate your support. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hope this has been educational so far, and we'll continue this video with the rigging. Okay, so we're all rigged up here. You've got your hook, your leader, going up to your swivel with a bead on top. You're pretty much ready to go. You can either throw your bait on there and then put the planer board on, or go ahead and hook the planer board up. This has a pigtail, so we'll just swivel it on in there. If it's just a snap swivel, you can just snap it on. Now that's going to go towards the bait. Then the clip is going to go towards the rod tip. If you put it on backwards, it will start diving. Then you're good to go. You want to throw that on out. I usually set my gizzard shad about 10 to 15 feet behind the board. Herring and shiners and whatnot, I'll vary. That will go possibly 30 feet up to 70 feet. Once the fish takes that board and smacks it, it'll separate that clip and it'll stop on the bead. Now I was feeling my line right here, noticed a fray, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that off camera. Here's an overhead diagram showing a typical planer board rig. Now you don't have to run 6 planer boards, but you can. You can run more. I like to run 6 planer boards and 2 ready rig floats out the back. That also allows me to run 2 more free lines out the back at varied distances, depending on what you want to do. I'm a big proponent of more lines in the water, more opportunities you have, but you do what you feel comfortable with. Now watch the middle planer board as it's about to get hit. Notice when it does get hit that it separates the clip and you'll see the board stay up top, but you can hear that the fish is going deeper and deeper. Again, this is important to have that breakaway. Well, that's it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below on what you want to know about. We'll also leave some links about the gear we use. And again, remember the competition or giveaway, we have not decided yet. Let us know what you want. No new boats, please. Until next time, tight lines.